Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Denny and I am a UX designer and developer in Montreal, Canada. So today I'm going to show you behind the scene look at my product development process. Quick context, I'm designing a startup called DateNight. It is a dating app that is going to help users plan romantic dates, and it's going to match users with local events and eateries around Montreal. So the problem that I'm trying to solve is that we are trying to find a way to better connect users, especially in dating platform, and also how to give users incentives to meet up and actually form authentic connections. So today we are working on our pop-up model. So as you can see, we are in my Figma file and I want to redesign the pop-up model right here. So this is a very important journey in our matchmaking process, because this is when user will get to know who they've just matched with, and at this moment in the journey they will be able to decide how they want to proceed with the match. So there's a few things. Let's go to our this is my Trello file where I organize my workflow. As you can see, I have a lot of backlog things, tasks I have to do. There's some design stuff that I will need to get working on. So a little bit about context about my channel is I'm building products with AI tools. So if you're interested in how that is being done, then I think that you're going to like my process. Anyways, so this is my Trello file where I keep all my tasks organized for the project. As you can see, I have a backlog of things that I want to implement before I launch the beta. Right now, we're still in the first stage of the, I guess you can call it, design and development process. I'm pretty much ready to start the first beta testing of the app. So there's just a few things that I want to kind of refine before I get people to actually use and give us more feedbacks. So today, let's redesign the MatchPopup. So the current model currently has a few issues. One, it doesn't really communicate our core values of how we're facilitating real-world connections. The UI feels very generic. It looks like Tinder and also Hinge. And I wanted to kind of differentiate it a little bit more, because our app is all about matching users with events. Okay, the call to action is also very generic, and it doesn't really entice or motivate users to connect or create invitations, and it lacks our brand personality. DateNight should feel, nostalgic, jazzy, old school blues. When I think about DateNight, I think of blues bars and late night walks kind of thing. So let's get on with our checklist. Okay. Oh, I forgot. So our core values in mind is safety, connection, and community. We always try to keep that in mind when we are developing our product. So what is the checklist for today? First, we're going to redesign the MatchPopup in Figma. Then we're going to use Claude to integrate the pop-up into our code base. And then last, we're going to push to GitHub. So let's go back into Figma. So this is the MatchPopup that I have currently. Let's change the name. I believe it is called MatchPopup. We have to check in the code base. I believe it is called MatchPopup. Let's go to our code. As you can see, I have the app already running. We're not gonna log in just yet, but I just want to see. Let's clear my list here. Where is it? Oh my god, I can't see anything right now. Oh, there you go. Yeah, when when the repository grows, sometimes it's kind of hard to find where you are. It should be in my components. Okay, it is called MatchPopup. Here we are. Perfect. So MatchPopup.js. Let's copy the whole thing. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is, as you can see, the original MatchPopup looks like every other dating app that's out there, right? So if you look at Tinder, match screen, UI, is a match. This one, right? This one here. It just has like a title. It has picture of the two users that just match, and then two buttons that gives you the option to send a message or skip. If you look at Hinge, Google, it just knows what I'm trying to search next. It's the same thing. Let's see if I can find a Hinge match screen. Where is it? They have one because I've used it before. I think it's something like that, right? Anyways, you get the point. So let's fix that. So when you think about date night, for me, I think there's a few symbols that come into my mind, right? I think about, when I think about date night, pictures of like wine bottles, wine glasses, right, comes to mind. Music, and a calendar, because essentially we're trying to help people manage their time and to create bookings through the app. So why not implement that into our model? So I'm just gonna leave. Oh, I have auto layout on. Let's just turn that off for now. Yeah, my auto layout is on. Gotta love auto layout. Let's move that down here a little bit. So let's create a component. I want to create a small calendar. Let's just do 300 to 15 for now. Let's give it some border radius. 12 is good. We don't want like the whole entire calendar design. We just want kind of something that resemble a calendar, right? We're just gonna do June because that's my birthday. Let's center it. Is that center? Let's center it. We'll give it days of the week. Yeah, we'll give it days of the week. So we'll do Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Perfect. It looks good. Nice. Let's just zoom it in a little bit more. Okay, I want this to be white because calendars are usually white. You know, when you buy a calendar, it's white. I want this to be bold. Let's give it a little bit of like a border. Just a faint one. Black is fine. We'll do 50%. And I just want like a 0.5. And I don't want the font to be that dark. I wanted to, I have our style guide here. I wanted this color. in another video, we're going to go through like all of my pages and how I've came up with these. Today we're just gonna focus on the sorry about that sound in the background. That's my cat, yo. Okay, I want our brand color. I also want the border to be our brand color as well. Actually, I want this to be less prominent because maybe 75%. Because the visual hierarchy, I want the users components to stand out more. Okay, that looks good. Oops, I forgot to group them together. So to group things in Figma, and guys, if I'm doing something like that's not correct, please let me know, okay? Okay, group them. And now I can drag them in. Okay, cool. Now, so what I'm thinking is that I want the user to pop out of the calendar, right? Because you just gotta match, and now you just gotta match, and then now you're gonna start thinking about planning dates, right? So I want the whole thing to really resemble that. So these two, I want auto layout to be off for now. Off. Okay, let's get Jennifer on this. Actually, you know what? I want to give this a little bit of a little bit of an angle. You know, it shouldn't be so straight. Calendars aren't usually straight when it's hanging on the wall. You know, it's always a little tilted. Okay, I like that. I like that. Let's get Jennifer on there. Okay, I don't want her to cover the... Okay, Jennifer is on there. Now let's get Derek on there as well. Okay. Okay, I like that. I also want Jennifer to be tilted a little bit. And then Derek can probably tilt it a little bit as well, like inward. So it's kind of like they're facing each other. And then let's get their Cupid icon in the center like that. We can get Jennifer's name there. And I'm just okay, by the way, about the fonts, I haven't really made any concrete decision on a font just yet because I'm still testing out a bunch. And I'm not really quite sure which one really matches our brand just yet. Okay, that looks way better. I like that. Now, so you just gotta match. Just for example, I'm Jennifer, and I gotta match with Derek. Now, what do I want to do? Of course, the call of action, I want to message him, right? So there should be an option to message him, or you can skip. Or I mean, you should talk to them first before you invite them somewhere, right? See, this is why we're gonna have to go back to our customer journey and see if we're going to, sorry, my mind just like blanked. If we're going to, we should give them the option to send an invite right away or just message during this moment in the process. I say right now, they can just send a message, and then let's give them an option to plan dates. So if they click on say hi, it's going to redirect them to the chat page where they can start a conversation. If they want to plan dates, then I might create another model and then showcase the events that are better suited for them. Because we already have an events page here, right? Where it will showcase all of the events, local events. And this is already a dedicated page in the app. But here in the journey, I feel like this part of the journey is probably a good idea. And I think it would be very interesting if we can implement a event matching model here right after this one, where the events are curated based on the two users that just match. So we have two options. We can render the event page, or we can render a curated list of events based on the two users. I think that's a better idea, but we'll come back to it. Okay, so let's work on this part. So we're gonna have to create some message, some more call to action. So let's say, don't waste any time. Send a quick message. Okay, really, Figma? Message to your match. Or review a curated list of events for both of you. Something like that. Let's center it. Sometimes I'm like looking at these buttons and I'm like, where is everything? Even though I've clicked on that same buttons like so many times. 28. Okay, that's good. I want this to be a brand. Two D. These are brand text color. I also don't want this to be bold. I just want it to be regular. And let's turn the grid on. Actually, let's turn the grid on here. Where is the grid again? I think the grid is only in the frame, right? The grid used to be around here, and like Figma made some changes, and now I don't know where the grid is. Layout guide. Ah, there's the grid. Okay. So I want the grid to be eight. No, let's do 16. Actually, let's do 8. Let's be a little bit more precise. Okay. I'm still like, the grid system still confuses me. I do know that like we work in pair of 8s. So that's, I know. Like I have my grid system here laid out up here. So for this one, we're gonna do the 16. And we're just going to measure the spacing for now. Okay, so I want it to be 16 on the side. And I think I want to double that inside of the model. $32, yes. Guys, I'm on my Mac Mini and I miss my trackpad. Navigating around Figma is so easy with a trackpad. I only have keyboard and mouse, but that's okay. I shouldn't complain. That means I want the button to also sit 16. Oh, did I just go bigger? Oh no, it's fine. Oops. Oh no. Did I turn to vector? No. I don't know what I just did. Okay. Let's turn the grid off now. It's looking good. Let's move this down a little bit. Like center. The background needs to be darker. And the model should be white, or at least like off-white. That looks good. Oh, I want another gray because this gray is too dark. I also want the pop-up to have a little bit of what's that called? Drop shadow. Okay, not that much. I also don't like to work with shadow because I can never get it right. The shadow always looks weird in Figma for some reason. No, that's fine. That's looking good. Guys, look at that. It's already looking way better. For the calendar, I think I want to make the border a little bit thicker, so it stands out a little bit more. There. This button is not going to pass. It's not going to pass the accessibility rule, but we'll come back to it. Right now, we just want to kind of have a new design, so we have an idea of what we want the screen to look like. We'll come back and refine the small bits later. I also want to change this font. I'm still in the process of like finding a good font for us. Like I remember there was one font that I was trying to find for my logo, and Figma didn't have it. I know that one of the font I really like is this one. It's very jazzy. Like it reminds me of those like old school jazz posters, you know? I really like that. We'll keep it like that for now. Oh no. Jennifer's name needs more room. Center it. Okay guys. I really like that. I think it looks way better than the first option, and it really stands out from the rest of the other dating app, right? Because now when you think about it, you're wondering, oh, okay, so this is not just another dating app where you're just chatting or whatever. It has a calendar which resemble, okay, maybe we're gonna meet up and plan a date together, and there's an option to plan a date here, for example. I like that. We are getting somewhere. Let's go back to our checklist. Now, it's the fun part. We're going to go into Claude and we're going to get him to implement this for us. We already have a match model. My model is already like integrated into the code base, and you only get to see it when you actually match with someone, right? And when you're developing and you're writing code and you're using, you know, AI tools to help you build stuff, sometimes a lot of time it breaks, or the match get all messed up. It takes a while to implement a component. So what I'm gonna do is, because I'm smart, I learned, is we're going to get Claude to implement this as a test component. So we're gonna force render it, and then we're going to integrate it into the actual functionality. Let's export this. And guys, when you export down here, make sure you choose, like, I choose 4x because I made a mistake of like choosing 1x as a default, and then it always comes out blurry, especially when I like try to use like my design for my website, or like to like promote it or to create posts for social media. It always looks very blurry, so always choose the 4x. I'm going to save it. Oh, my files is everywhere. I'm going to save it. I'm just gonna save it in here for now. Okay, we're in Claude.